Summertime, Fresh Prince, DJ Jazzy Jeff. That's a barbecue anthem right
Mm-hmm.
there. Gotta have that. Gotta have it. Uh, we'll be playing a lot more barbecue anthems. Make sure also to go to Spotify and you can check out the Juneteenth Cookout playlist. We got these songs and a whole lot more. If ever you wanted a playlist that you just want that just press play and let that thing go, this is the one. This is the day where you just need to have a good solid barbecue playlist. And we got you covered. So make sure to check that
Definitely.
out. Yeah.
Let it
Uh,
ride.
let it ride. All right, so we have the 5 fast facts of Juneteenth. Is what we're going to be talking about today. We want to make sure that you know all of the details that you need to know, at least the pertinent stuff, give you something to work with for starters. We're not going to try to, cover everything, but that's the whole idea of 5 fast facts, is to give you something to work with. So let's kick this thing off with fact number 1. All right, so the first thing you got to know is that the announcements of Juneteenth was actually urged freemen and free women to stay with their owners, or their enslavers, better yet. So the General Order number 3, as it was read by General Granger, said, the people of Texas are informed that in ordinance with a proclamation from the executives of the United States, all slaves are free. This involves an absolute equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. And the connection heretofore existing between them becomes that between employer and hired labor. So from there point on, if you're going to stay around, if they keep you, they got to keep you as hired labor. But again, it says that the freedmen were advised to remain quietly at their present homes and work for wages, since they could now have an employee-employer relationship. As you can imagine.
The quiet part I'm not with. I'm trying to raise a little ruckus around there now that I'm free.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like they wanted to give some freedom with some stipulations. And who knows if you want to really take the chance with somebody who already was attempting to enslave you to stay around. But yeah, that's what you don't hear a lot. They were actually encouraged, well, stick around.
Be
Things will be
quiet.
different now.
Shh. Just be
Yeah.
cool. Just be cool.
Fact number 2, the scatter. Now this is something that most people don't realize as well. Let's talk about the scatter. It says most free people weren't interested in staying with their enslavers,
You
even if
think?
pay was involved.
You
In
think?
fact, some were leaving before General Granger had finished even making his announcement. He was like, all right, so here's the deal. You all are free.
I'm
and
out.
that means that, oh, wait a minute, I'm not finished. I was,
Whoa. All right,
yeah, hold
I'm head
up,
out.
Yeah. What followed became known as the scatter. Droves of former enslaved people left the state to find family members or more welcoming accommodations from other regions.
Can you
So,
imagine those first few free slaves, like looking left, looking right, like you not gonna stop me, like for
yeah.
real? That would have been a scary thing to do, to finally be free. The announcement comes, there's still hostility there, and I'm finna just scatter. I'm finna run for the hills.
Yeah.
So I can only.
And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of those people, like it was said, they actually went. They were like, I want to find my family. Because people don't talk about this a lot. Oh, another reason why they never want to get into the details of slavery is because of the cruelty of what was actually going on. And a lot of these people were like, I want to find the people who were ripped from me. If you had a brother or a sister, imagine now all of a sudden, not only are you free, you have the chance to maybe find them. So yeah, they got out of there, and apparently some of them got out before he even gave the final decree. I would have loved to have seen that. They threw a producers on him. All right, fast fact number 3. Not everyone was freed instantly. According to historian James Smallwood, many enslavers deliberately suppressed the information until the harvest, and some beyond that in July of 1867. There were 2 separate reports of enslaved people being freed, and one report of a Texas horse thief named Alex Simpson who enslaved people who were only freed after his hanging in 1868.
So the actual slave owner was hung?
The enslaver was hung, and then his people were
Wow.
freed. He wasn't punished for still breaking the law of enslaving people. He was punished because he stole a horse.
Oh,
And
okay.
then and that was in 1868. 3 years, yeah,
Wow. 3
3 years
years
after
later.
Juneteenth. So
Mm.
you see, it was a thing. And I mean, I've heard different stories. I've heard tales of people that were in Mississippi who were freed much later. Um, so yeah,
Hmm.
it's a complex and messy whole thing, as history often is. Fast fact number 4. Emancipation Park. When freed people tried to celebrate the first anniversary of the announcement a year later, they faced a problem. Segregation laws were expanding rapidly, so there was no public places or parks that they could be permitted to use. In the 1870s, former enslaved people pooled together $800 and purchased 10 acres of land, which they deemed Emancipation Park. Until the
Hmm.
1950s, it was the only public park and swimming pool in the Houston area that was open to African Americans.
Oh, I'll have to see if we can check that out. That is
Yeah.
really interesting. I didn't know that about Emancipation Park. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you're heading to Houston soon, aren't you?
Next week,
Okay, so
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was something I wasn't aware of either, but it makes perfect sense. It's obvious that well, okay, now you can celebrate, but
But where?
there's always the asterisk that comes in there, and they made a way. They pooled their resources and created their own space to celebrate. You know, I'm all about that. Fast fact number 5, and the final fast fact: celebration deferred. The enactment of Jim Crow laws dampened the celebration of freedom. In addition, the Great Depression forced many black farming families away from rural areas and into urban environments to seek work, resulting in difficulty taking the day off to celebrate. The Poor People's March, planned by Martin Luther King Jr., was purposely scheduled to coincide with the date.
Hmm.
March participants took the celebrations back to their home states, and soon the holiday was reborn.
Ah,
Yeah,
leave it to MLK to organize people and get things going.
yeah.
Gotta love him.
So the Juneteenth celebrations that we are more aware of today started to begin again because of that. Uh, and here we are. Now we look at it being a federal holiday for whatever that may mean to different people. It's a federal holiday. So we still got to take ownership of it. But those are some of the 5 fast facts about Juneteenth. Hopefully you can take that information and it can be useful for you. You can share it with your kids, share it with your grown-ups. Let's be honest, a lot of us don't know this stuff.
And I've heard about white people just getting curious about what Juneteenth means and seeing people wearing T-shirts and just asking questions too.
Uh-huh.
So this is good for me to be able, for us to be able to educate them too. Even though there is Google if they really wanted to know, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, but
there's
I mean
that.
if you have the conversation, have the conversation.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I'm really in a place with the whole thing about white engagement with this particular holiday because I mean
Mm,
we just know it's just often it's always something that gets um, taken,
washed,
yeah, and
diluted.
yeah, and so I'm just hoping that people that we are mindful of taking ownership of our joy. I think that's important. We got to take ownership of our joy. So hopefully things will go well.
This is the Scenario Radio Show. Real talk with a playlist.
That's the scenario.